and they were talking a lot about US's invasion of Afghanistan and that early 2000s period. And after that, a girl raised her hand, and I didn't personally know her, but she said that she was from Afghanistan and she had lived through a lot of that, and her family had experienced a lot of that. And she spoke about how difficult it was to be living in that when everyone in the US had a very different perception of what was going on at the time, and how like now that she's in America, she sees how little or like how narrow the media coverage was at the time and how much that shaped people's views. And she told us stories about her childhood, and she got very emotional, and multiple people in the class got emotional. But it was a very hard conversation for everyone to have, and I think it was good that it opened up a lot of people's perspectives, like, oh, we didn't even think about, when talking about Ukraine, we weren't even thinking about when invasions had happened elsewhere, when wars were happening elsewhere, and how, like, the demographics can alter that. And so I think it was good for a lot of people in the room. At the same time, reflecting on it, no one was aware of that perspective. When everyone was making their comments, it seemed like no one was considering that perspective. Not that they automatically had to know that, but this person in my class had to go very on the spot, had to get very vulnerable with the class to explain how serious this was. And in reflection, I think it shouldn't have been her responsibility to convince us that she lived through that, or not convince us that she lived through that, but if that had been a perspective everyone was already considering in the discussion, she might not have had to get so emotional and try so hard to explain everything to everyone in the room at the time who had no idea of her background.